Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to APL Apollo Tubes Limited Q2 FY2024 earnings conference call hosted by Yes Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference call is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Udit Gajiwala from Yes Securities. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Yes Securities, we welcome you all to the Q2 FY25 earnings conference call of APL Apollo Tubes. From the management side, we have today Mr. Sanjay Gupta, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Deepak Goyal, Director of Operations, Mr. Anubhav Gupta, Chief Strategy Officer, and Mr. Chetan Khandelwal, Chief Financial Officer. I'll now hand over the call to the management for your opening remarks. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Udit, and thanks to Yes Securities for hosting us for our earnings call. Good evening, everyone. I welcome all of you to our Q2 FY25 earnings call. I sympathize with my analyst friends who are covering building material sector and are attending fifth investor call today. What a mind-blowing quarter we had, the Q2. Our Q2 performance reminds me of a famous phrase, the night is darkest just before the dawn. Why I say this? Because we have been waiting for this time when inflation in the domestic steel prices seems to be over and the gap between our product and low-grade sponge iron made steel pipes has narrowed down considerably. Of course, the correction in steel prices brought rock on our profitability and our EBITDA spreads collapsed to all-time low. However, we are not discouraged by this at all, and in fact, we are working harder to pounce upon the opportunity which has opened with the low base raw material costs. The gap between our product and sponge iron pipes is around 5 to 6% today, and we can target additional market of 500,000 tons on monthly basis. Our products have also become affordable against wooden structures, aluminium profiles, rebars, long steel products, and steel angles and channels, which is further expanding our universe. The existing pricing situation seems to be sustainable, as there is not much room for steel prices to go down given the depressed profitability for the steel mill, and at the same time steel prices should not rise further because the new steel capacity is coming online quarter on quarter basis, which will keep the steel prices under check. Henceforth, the volume trends in H2 should remain strong, as we are confident of 3.2 million ton sales target for full year of FY25. Confidence also comes from the fact that our channel partners are still sitting on low inventory levels because their secondary sales are equally strong. The reasons for all-time low EBITDA spreads in Q2 were number one, inventory loss of rupees 2,000 per ton, which even we could not stop because of 7,500 ton steep fall in the steel prices, and that was back to back. So we had to, the inventory which we were having on our books, we had to correct it. And we also offered more discounts of rupees 500 per ton to our customers in the falling steel scenario to push sales. One positive highlight was the operating leverage benefit of rupees 100 per ton as our sales volume expanded on quarter on quarter basis. Now, APL Apollo is ready with 4.3 million ton capacity, which we shall expand to 5 million ton by FY26. The residual capex is around 3 to 3.5 billion rupees, which will be easily funded from the internal cash flows. Our strategy here is deeper penetration in the market with the new greenfield plants. Two plants are coming in Siliguri and Gorakhpur. This is to cater to the whole of East India, including the 7 sister states, and some opportunity in Nepal and Bhutan markets as well. We are also adding up a new plant in Bangalore for our lighter section, where we feel that the existing capacities are fully utilized. From these three plants, we expect an additional market of around 1.5 million ton on annual basis, and we should be able to ramp up our volumes from these plants over the next 2 to 3 years. Our thrust on innovation continues in structural steel space with launch of specialized structures for the solar power industry. One product is pre-coated thicker sheet which shall replace existing galvanized sheets, and the another product we added that to our portfolio was to cater to the solar tracker systems. We continue to make inroads in the heavy structural steel tube space as the usage of tubular designs in heavy construction keeps on rising. Our tubular designs are now being used in major infrastructure and real estate projects in the country. For next year, we maintain our sales volume guidance of 4 million ton and 5 million ton by FY27. The margin shall expand to normalized level of 5,000 rupees per ton over the next 2 to 3 quarters, and this margin should remain sustainable throughout FY26 on quarter-on-quarter basis. With this, we are done with our opening remarks, and we are happy to take questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Our first question is from the line of Rahul Agarwal from Ikigai Asset Management. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi, good evening. Thank you so much for the opportunity and happy festive greetings to everybody at APL. Sanjay, the first question was on steel demand supply. Could you please share your thoughts on what's really happening with overall global and India steel demand and supply, and your outlook on how should the prices actually behave? A bit more color on that would be helpful, please. That's my first question.
Good evening, Rahul. First of all, happy Diwali to everyone. Well, the demand of the steel is, if you see the real facts, not very good. But somehow, we are struggling from last 2 years with the secondary and the primary steel prices. का जो gap बहुत बड़ा था, the huge gap between the primary and the secondary steel price, almost close to 12 to 15 rupees kg. Now it's come down to reduce to 3 rupees, almost close to 2 to 3 rupees kg. तो ये हमारे लिए अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा boost-up है. बाकी तो अगर आप if you see all the sectors, we are our growth rate is almost close to 5 to 10%. पर यहाँ पर हमारे पास ग्रोथ का बहुत बड़ा चांस है, जिसके लिए हमने भी बिल्डअप टू द कैपेसिटी एंड वी आर वेरी फोकस कि हम अब क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर आराम से हम 10% ग्रोथ का हम टारगेट बना रहे कि हम लेके जाएंगे. ग्लोबली डिमांड कुछ जगह पर फ्रैक्चरली लाइक मिडिल ईस्ट में डिमांड अच्छी है, एंड यूएस साइड में तो डिमांड स्लो डाउन है. This month we are going to do our highest production sale close to 16,000 tons this month. So these all the things are good for us.
So Sanjay ji, mota-moti for the HRC pricing in India, what do you foresee? I mean, because Anubhav also mentioned that
HRC price, Rahul, you have to understood. Today HRC price is close to 46-47 per in the market. और यहाँ पर ज़्यादा प्राइस करेक्शन होने का चांस नहीं है, because their margins are in pressure also, the steel prices are in the pressure. But my gut feeling कि ज़्यादा बढ़ने का भी चांस नहीं है. अब यहीं पर 1 रुपये ऊपर नीचे या प्राइस भी remain same, because की कैपेसिटी इंडिया में इस साल में ऑलमोस्ट HR क्वालिटी 1.5 मिलियन टन की कैपेसिटी आनी थी. Like 2 lakh ton per month from Tata Steel, 2 lakh ton per month from and NDC Steel 4 lakh ton from JSW Steel and 4 lakh ton from JSPL. अभी इस 12 लाख टन पर मंथ की कैपेसिटी में अभी हार्डली 2.53 लाख टन का कैपेसिटी चालू हुआ है. 9 लाख टन का कैपेसिटी ऑलमोस्ट अगले 4 महीने 4 to 5 मंथ में चालू होगी. ये 2 लाख टन टाटा स्टील, 4 लाख टन JSW एंड 2 लाख टन JSPL. तो 8 लाख टन का कैपेसिटी बिल्टअप होगा और चाइना का प्रेशर बहुत ज़्यादा है ओवरऑल वर्ल्ड मार्केट पे स्टील प्राइसेस में. तो मेरे को लगता है इंडिया में स्टील प्राइसेस यहाँ पर रिमेन सेम नहीं है, बट जो सेकेंडरी मार्केट है वहाँ से मार्केट शेयर इज मूविंग टुवर्ड द प्राइमरी स्टील.
Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you so much for answering my questions. I'll get back in the queue. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Amit Dixit from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for the opportunity. A couple of questions from my end. The first one is that, despite pushing volumes, the general structure segment, we found that the contribution was negative. So what explains that? Are we pushing volumes at the cost of margins and realization? In that case, it could be counterproductive as we ramp up our capacity. So that is the first question I have. That how do we see this margin shaping up of this critical, I would say, bucket, which is like 45% of your overall sales volume?
So Amit, the EBITDA per ton spread was negative because of the inventory loss overall which the company took, right? If we remove the inventory loss, it was pretty much profitable. And going forward, we don't expect further inventory losses, right? So the EBITDA per ton in this particular category will recover to the previous levels which we have been showing, around 2,000 to 2,200 rupees a ton.
No, because I was asking what gives the confidence that, the steel prices will not fall from here, because, what we have seen, that Chinese stimulus, the measures and the impact has been fairly, I would say, muted at this point in time. Chinese exports have again swelled to 10 million tons odd. So, and last quarter also we said that now, things are, the worst is behind us possibly. But although we said that Q2 might be a little bit here and there. But, going ahead in Q3 also, the demand that we saw is like 4 to 5% now in Q2. So what gives us the confidence that, we'll go back to this EBITDA per ton of 5,000 in 2 to 3 quarters?
No one will be more happy if steel prices go down further from here. The question is, can steel prices go down again 7,500 per ton in single quarter? Answer seems to be no, right? Because company, if you look at our performance for last 10 years, right, we have seen this cycle of steel volatility, wherein in a single quarter steel prices swing by 2,000, 3,000 rupees a ton very easily, right? And we don't have inventory losses in every quarter. It is just in Q2 when there was such a sharp decline, right? 2,500, 2,000 rupees, month on month we saw the correction in the steel prices, which we have not witnessed in the last 10 years. Even an efficient inventory churning company like Apollo, right, which we always boast of, right, our inventory churn is like 25 days, 15 times, 18 times in a year. When we are churning inventory so quickly, then 2,000-3,000 rupees per ton fall or increase in steel prices in a quarter does not impact our profitability. But if steel prices were to fall off by 7,500 rupees a ton in a single quarter, then it does impact our profitability, right? So if in quarter 3 you expect that steel prices could further go down by the same pace, at one side we will be very happy because then we will just eliminate the sponge iron patra pipe, okay, because right now the gap is 2,000 rupees a ton, and if steel prices, my base raw material goes down by like 6,000-7,000 rupees a ton, you can imagine the situation where I will be able to sell at such a lower price. Second point, we may not need to lower my selling price once steel prices go below patra coil price. Okay, because I have almost 500,000 ton of monthly incremental market, which I will take from sponge iron steel pipes, and even if my base raw material is lower, I may not decrease my selling price, right? So in fact, my margins will go up. Okay, in a situation when steel prices crash by 7,000 per ton in Q3 or Q4, and sponge iron steel prices are at similar levels.
Sorry, I also add to one point here. Today, the total structural tube marketing of India is almost close to 5 million ton with the primary steel, and almost 6 million ton from the secondary steel. If the price go down with the secondary steel, nobody can supply the material to market other than Apollo. It will be our segment, the second number player is just 1 time of our capacity. So if market requires 5-6 lakh ton per month more material, so Apollo also can give a maximum 1.5 lakh ton material per month to market. So then we don't need to crash our price. Then our margin should increase.
Okay, got it. The second question is on employee expenses. Last quarter you indicated that maybe they have peaked off, but this time we saw again employee expenses increasing. So what is the sustainable rate that we can of employee expenses that we can see going ahead?
So Amit, the employee expenses for the Q2 is 870 million rupees, right? Out of this, again, 70 million is for the notional ESOP expense. Okay, so 800 million per quarter is what like we have peaked, right? And as the sales volume increases quarter on quarter, the per ton cost will keep on going down.
But in absolute amount, we can expect that 800 million would be, or thereabout would be a quarterly rate.
Definitely, yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much, and all the best.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Lokesh Maru from Nippon India Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Thank you for taking my questions. 2-3 questions. One is, now assuming that steel prices are down already, channel is at lower inventory, what kind of growth are you seeing right now, or maybe what is your estimate for, in the current situation, say Q3, Q4? That is first. Second is, as prices were down already, were on a declining trend, the discount of 500 per ton that we had shared even in the call and in the PPT, when did you actually start giving this discount, and how long do you intend to stretch that, and what was the rationale? Is it to still push volumes in a declining destocking environment, or gain share from maybe peers, anything like that? And third, last question is on the while doing some channel checks, few dealers also mentioned presence of or rather competitive intensity in the heavy structures by JSPL. So how do we counter that? What is our strategy around that piece? Thanks.
So Lokesh, first question will be addressed by Sanjay ji. Rest two I will take. Sanjay ji, please.
Hi, Lokesh, good evening. Because now we are targeting quarter on quarter 10% growth. Like this quarter we have done 7.5 lakh ton near about. Now Q3 we are targeting 8.25 lakh ton, and Q4 we are targeting 9 lakh ton, and Q1 we are targeting 10 lakh ton, and Q2 I am targeting 11 lakh ton, and Q2 up to 12 lakh ton. I think this type of market scenario we are not going to stop. We are going to quarter on quarter 10% growth, because I have the capacity, I have the market, I have all the things I have. Now nothing is for me any excuse. For Apollo now no excuse. We are very confident. Okay, already the secondary market is in the loss. So अभी 1-2 रुपए किलो वो loss में काम कर रहे हैं, and we are still in the comfort position. तो आई डोंट थिंक कि अभी कोई मेजर ही करे, साथ ही वापस स्टील प्राइस इंक्रीज आ गया जो किसी हालत में हमको पॉसिबल नहीं लगता। तो आई थिंक नाउ द बॉल इज इन आवर कोर्ट, नाउ वी आर गोइंग विद द कहते हैं ना एक्सटर्नल सपोर्ट ऑल्सो। तो वी आर हम इस समय फुल हॉर्स पावर की तरह से काम कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हमको लाइफ में ऐसा दोबारा मौका नहीं मिलेगा। तो वी आर वेरी होपफुल। इफ वी कांट डू इट, so we have to rethink where is our structural problem, how can we remove and how can we go ahead. But right now I can say only one, I can give you an insurance कि हमारे पास कोई excuse नहीं है परफॉर्म करने के अलावा। अपोलो टीम को परफॉर्म करना ही पड़ेगा। We have no excuse. Thank you.
Sir, just one counter to that. Sorry, sir, अभी अगर भाव कम है, red steel has fallen right now. If our gap with secondary is narrow, so why not front load that volume which we are forecasting later on? मतलब अभी growth accelerate ज़्यादा, मतलब later we don't know, right? अगर steel 3-4 रुपये ऊपर बढ़ता है, that is an unknown scenario, right? So any thoughts around that? If growth could be accelerated today rather than maybe Q4 or Q1? Please pardon my ignorance.
इसमें सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग कि वी आर गोइंग टू फर्स्ट टाइम डू दिस टाइप ऑफ वॉल्यूम। नाउ वी नो अबाउट द मार्केट नब्स, क्योंकि व्हाट टाइप ऑफ वी हैव ए फुल बास्केट। अभी तक हम कंफ्यूज किया थे कि वी डोंट नो कि हमको कहाँ से वॉल्यूम बढ़ाना है, कहाँ से क्या काम करना है। बट राइट फ्रॉम सितंबर मंथ वी आर हम अपना वॉल्यूम कर रहे हैं। तो नाउ वी हमने अपना नब्ज पकड़ लिया मार्केट का कि हमारा मार्केट का नब्ज कहाँ पर है, हाउ टू वी इंक्रीज द वॉल्यूम, कि किस एरिया को, किस प्रोडक्ट में, किस एरिया में हमको टच करना है, किस एरिया में, किस प्रोडक्ट में पकड़े से कोई इम्पैक्ट नहीं आता है, किस एरिया में इम्पैक्ट आता है। नाउ वी हैव कहते ना वो पूरा मास्टरी और पूरा हमारे पास एक मैप आ गया है कि हमको कहाँ से वॉल्यूम निकालना है। अभी तक वी आर स्टिल कंफ्यूज्ड। हम क्योंकि जब तक वॉल्यूम नहीं करेंगे, मार्केट को नहीं रीड करेंगे, वी कांट डू एनीथिंग। नाउ वी रीड द मार्केट। तब प्रॉब्लम आएगी तो वी आर गोइंग टू फेस। आई एम नॉट वरी अबाउट कि अब हमको मालूम पड़ गया कि लाइक आई कैन से कि हमारा महाराष्ट्र में 30,000 टन के आसपास पर मंथ वॉल्यूम होता था। दिस मंथ वी आर गोइंग टू क्लोज द वॉल्यूम एट 45,000 टन पर टन। तो हमने 45,000 टन हमने क्लोज करेंगे इस मंथ में, अक्टूबर मंथ में। तो हमको नजर आ गया कि महाराष्ट्र पतरा बेस्ड ज़्यादा मार्केट है, तमिलनाडु पतरा बेस्ड ज़्यादा मार्केट है, ये एरिया ज़्यादा मार्केट क्वाल बेस्ड है। यहाँ पर हम प्राइस को ज़्यादा छेड़खानी करेंगे तो हमको क्वाल कोई ग्रोथ एक्स्ट्रा नहीं मिल रही है, इस एरिया में ज़्यादा एक्स्ट्रा ग्रोथ मिलेगी। इस साइज को हम ज़्यादा सस्ता करके ज़्यादा नहीं बेच सकते, वहाँ पर ग्रोथ नहीं है। इस साइज को हम सस्ता करके बेचेंगे तो हमको ग्रोथ मिल जाएगी। तो वी कैन मेक द बास्केट ऑफ थिंग्स। नंबर 2, एज ए मार्जिन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, मेरे को दुबई प्लांट मेरा पूरा रैंप अप हो गया है। दिस मंथ वी आर गोइंग टू क्लोज टू 16,000 टन। तो वहाँ हमारे जिसका पुराने स्टॉक्स भी हमारे वहाँ पर खत्म हो गए हैं, तो हमारा वहाँ से भी मार्जिन बढ़ जाएगा काफ़ी, जो मेरे को इंडिया स्ट्रक्चर को हेल्प करेगा मार्जिन को मेंटेन करने में। तो वी आर वेरी होपफुल कि हम क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर 10% का ग्रोथ, एंड फर्स्ट फेज में EBITDA 4,000 to 5,000, सेकेंड फेज में 5,000 to 6,000 के बीच में कहीं ना कहीं जाएंगे। और अभी तो HR क्वाल का कैपेसिटी हिंदुस्तान में चालू हो रहा है, अभी चालू भी नहीं हुआ है। अभी 12 लाख टन में से सिर्फ 2.5 लाख टन का कैपेसिटी आया है। तो या तो स्टील डिमांड इतनी बढ़ जाए कि सारी कैपेसिटी एब्जॉर्ब हो जाए, तो वो अदरवाइज में वो सेंस में हमारे लिए वो भी अच्छा है। क्योंकि HR क्वाल जहाँ भी बिकेगा तो लाइक के प्रोडक्ट ही बिकेगा ना, पाइप बिके या कलर बिके या कुछ भी बिके, तो मतलब वहाँ पर डिमांड बढ़ेगी। इस कैपेसिटी को कहीं जाने के लिए मार्केट शेयर तो चाहिए ही।
Sure, sir. Understood.
And just to add to this, our east plants, which we are setting up, 2 plants, Siliguri and Gorakhpur, so that will also give us incremental market of around million ton a year, and that will also boost our volumes, which will contribute to the quarterly run rate which Sanjay ji just highlighted. Now, on your second question about the discounting in the second quarter for our customers, see, in the falling price scenario, the sentiments for the distributors, our channel partners, also go to like pretty low levels, and we have to compensate compensate with some additional discounts, right, to push the volumes. And then it would be like, first time in our own history that in a quarter when steel prices crashed by 7,500 per ton and our sales volume increased in that quarter versus the previous quarter. So the momentum what we were seeing, we wanted to continue with that, and we thought, okay, if we bleed further by 500 rupees per ton, but that will keep the momentum going with our channel partners, we should go for it. So that was the conscious decision and decisive strategy which we adopted, and we went for it. And we knew that we also had fair idea that prices will stabilize in September. Okay, so from October we shall withdraw such discounts, and there will be no need to continue with the pricing.
So we have already rolled back the discount, and this 500 should flow through into three anyway.
That is right.
Into our EBITDA. Okay.
That is right. And on your third question, in competition on the structural steel heavy space, see, our philosophy here is the more the merrier, because we are the only ones who are promoting the tubular construction in the heavy construction. If more strong players or strong brands come and pitch the same theme to the developers, to the contractors, to the structural engineers, to the architects, to the government, it will only expand the market in a bigger way. So everyone shall reap the benefits in long term.
Sure, understood. Thanks, Anubhav. Thanks, Sanjay.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Dhananjay Bagrodia from ASK Investments. Please go ahead.
Happy Diwali, sir, and very good numbers in a tough economic environment. Just wanted to understand, roughly we are expecting around 170 crores was the inventory loss for this quarter.
It was 2,000 rupees per ton. So if you calculate, you shall come around 1.5 billion rupees.
2,000 into 250, because only 1 month inventory we keep, right?
Right. So normally the stock is around 280 to 300,000 tons. On that, the loss we would have booked around 5,000 rupees a ton.
That would have been 2,000 rupees a ton.
Yeah.
Okay. So effectively now, what OP per ton in terms of like...
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Dhananjay. If you can please repeat your question. Your voice was not audible.
Effectively, for the second half, what OP per ton would we be targeting? Assuming now no more losses.
So we shall be going from 4,000 to 5,000 rupees a ton for the second half.
Okay, so that's effectively that's 5,000. And volumes guidance is, would it be increased because our numbers have come higher in the process? And usually second.
Yes, I mean, if you sum up the guidance which Sanjay just gave, right, quarterly volume, I'm sure you will see that the guidance seems to be a bit better.
Maybe Mr. Echelon would be above 3.23, 3.3, right?
That's right. I think the main impact you will see for the FY26, right, because here the 6 months have already gone. But yes, we should be surpassing the 3.2 million ton guidance if we do second half as we are saying.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Kunal Ramani from Kitara Capital. Please go ahead.
My question has been answered. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Anupam Gupta from IIFL Securities. Please go ahead.
On the number which you have
Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Anupam, your voice is not audible.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, if you can switch to your hands-free mode, like to handset mode, that would be better, sir.
Yeah. So can you hear me now? Is this better?
Yes, sir, it's much better now. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So the question was on the EBITDA per ton number, which you have put in the PPT of 5,000 rupees for FY27 targeted. But just doing the math from your current number and assuming there are no inventory losses and you have this 500 rupees discount rolled back, plus there will be operating leverage which will come through. Ideally, you should be 5,000 rupees per ton in the next 2 quarters itself, in fourth quarter itself, in fact, assuming there are no further this thing. So are you assuming an adverse mix incrementally because let's say you'll push out more of general structures given that the competition there is much lesser, or how are you looking at that number specifically?
So Anupam, if you heard Sanjay ji, right, he said in first phase our target is 4,000 to 5,000 rupees a ton EBITDA, and in second phase 5,000 to 6,000 rupees per ton EBITDA, right? I mean, right now the EBITDA per ton has been so low for the last 2-3 quarters, right? If we mention 6,000 rupees per ton on presentation, we just thought let's be a bit conservative in highlighting the number. But yes, you are right that the business has the ability to produce 6,000 rupees per ton EBITDA, which Sanjay ji also highlighted.
Understand. Okay. And the second question is on the utilization of the Raipur facility at this point of time. Last quarter you mentioned it was close to about 60%. What is the number for second quarter?
Yeah.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Pallav Agarwal from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. I hope my line is clear.
So just to answer to Anupam's last question, see in Raipur there has been expansion in the capacity as well, right? So earlier it was 61%, but now on the expanded capacity it is 53%.
Thank you, sir. Pallav sir, you can please go ahead with your question.
Yeah, good evening. So I have a question on the new plant at Bangalore. I think on the last call we had mentioned that there was a plan, the location was supposed to be in Ahmedabad. So has there been any change in our strategy in terms of geography?
So Pallav, hi. We did decide to go for Ahmedabad initially, right? And then we evaluated the raw material availability, right? The market dynamics and the existing plants which are already feeding the Gujarat market, right? So we thought that existing plants can keep on feeding, and in fact there is a need for a plant in southern market. So we changed that strategy. Anyways, we did not invest any money on land acquisition, etc. So it was withdrawable, and we did withdraw that. Sanjay, you want to add?
Yeah, Pallav, the main thing is that we now with a very hard work के साथ अपने now we stabilize the ABPL and our Raipur capacity, and of these plants our main market is Gujarat. Right now, and in south region, now we have the shortage of lighter structural tube due to the Patra market. तो मेरे को लगा कि अब फिर हम अहमदाबाद में एक प्लांट अभी लगा लेंगे तो फिर हम रायपुर में वापस स्ट्रगल करेंगे. इट्स बेटर कि पहले जहाँ पर मटेरियल शॉर्टेज है उस एरिया में काम करें. सेकंड फेज में जब when we are going to from 5 million to 10 million ton target, then we are second phase में हम सब प्लांट्स पर वर्किंग करेंगे. कहाँ हमारी कैपेसिटी हमको शॉर्ट पड़ रही है, कहाँ हमको लगाना है. तो इसी से वी ड्रॉप द अहमदाबाद प्लांट. राइट नाउ वी डोंट वांट टू डिस्टर्ब रायपुर फैसिलिटीज, क्योंकि रायपुर फैसिलिटी हमारी बहुत बड़ी बैकबोन हो गई इस टाइम कंपनी की, तो हम उससे भी कोई भी मार्केट लेना नहीं चाहते हैं.
So also, so reason for us turning into, so net cash to debt again is because of the lower EBITDA this quarter, or again there's some inventory build up that is happening, working capital.
So Pallav, here there are two reasons. Of course, the profitability was low, so operating cash flow was very low compared to the earlier quarters. And secondly, we also went ahead with 4 billion INR of capex in the first half. So as you know that the capacities have increased from 3.6 million ton to 4.3 million ton. So some residual capex also we had to incur, which we did. So that's why there is a slight build-up in the debt, but as the operating cash flows will normalize in the second half, it shall come down sharply.
So we still probably have a target of being net cash by the end of FY25. Is that a possibility?
Definitely, yes.
So just lastly, given the difference, in between domestic and import prices, now, so do we import any HRC in the last quarter, because the 6,000 to 7,000 rupees of decline in prices, seems to be on a point-to-point basis, because on average, the prices are probably low about 3,500 to 3,500 as per what stock prices we track. So were there any imports of HRC that happened either in Q1 or Q2?
Just 1 second. The import price earlier, like in India, there are 2 types of imports. One is Japanese, Korean and Vietnam material, जो ड्यूटी फ्री होते हैं, and one is Chinese material, जिस पर 8.25% ड्यूटी होती है. तो जापानीज एंड कोरियन मटेरियल जो था $600 के आसपास चल रहा था स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द क्वार्टर, एंड नाउ लास्ट में $500 तक उसने टच किया. नाउ this material is stabilized on to $525 per ton. So if you see the $80 decrease into 84 rupees, almost close to 7,000 rupees per ton. और इंडिया में 7,500 रुपीज टन का डिक्लाइन हुआ है. तो बोथ आर वेरी इक्वलेंट. इंडियन मार्केट इज गोइंग विद द इंटरनेशनल मार्केट.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Devrat Mohta from Capital Group. Please go ahead.
Hi Sanjay ji, thank you for taking my question. My question really was, अगर आपका ये mix shift होता है towards taking away more market share from Patra, does that become adverse for margin going forward? And really, when you say margins are 4,000 to 5,000 in first phase and 5,000 to 6,000 in second phase, really, I mean, what time period are we talking about? Phase 1, phase 2?
Yeah, definitely you have 100% ये take the right point है कि मैं जो बार-बार मार्जिन पर ज़्यादा बात नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ कि अगर मैं पतला में कम्युनिटी सेक्टर में मेरा वॉल्यूम बढ़ रहा है तो वहाँ से मार्जिन ज़्यादा बढ़ेगा नहीं मेरा. तो अमाउंट एब्सोल्यूट अमाउंट है हमारा EBITDA ROC सब हमारा EBITDA मार्जिन सब बहुत बढ़ जाएगा. बट मेरी पटन में EBITDA हमारा टूट जाए तो तभी मैं 4,000 5,000 6 से ऊपर अभी बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, क्योंकि जो मेरे को यहाँ से ग्रोथ बहुत अच्छी नजर आ रही है सेक्टर से. और बाकी हमारे जो वैल्यूडेड ये प्रोडक्ट्स है उसमें ग्रोथ नॉर्मल रहेगी. लाइक अगर मैं Q3 में 9 लाख टन करता हूँ तो अगर मैं 9 लाख टन पर 6 रुपए किलो या 5 रुपए किलो बिटा सोच के 500 करोड़ का बिटा सोच के काम करूंगा तो अगेन मैं उसी चक्कर में फंस जाऊंगा. तो माई टारगेट इज कि मेरा ओवरऑल बिटा कैसे बढ़ता है, उसमें एब्सोल्यूट बिटा कैसे बढ़ता है. मे भी अगर मेरे को नीचे वाले प्रोडक्ट में भी 2,000 3,000 तक बिटा बच रहा है, वाई शुड आई गो टू लूज द मार्केट कि मेरा पर्सन बिटा कम हो जाएगा. इसलिए मैं बिटा पर भी ज्यादा बुलिश होकर बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ कि एक क्वार्टर हम बिटा पर काम कर ले, इस क्वार्टर में वॉल्यूम पहले प्रोड्यूस कर दे, क्योंकि हमारे खर्चों पर बहुत फर्क पड़ेगा इससे. लाइकली मैं बताता हूँ, हमारा जो मैं अभी देख रहा था आज के बोर्ड मीटिंग में ही अपना, हमारा ऑलमोस्ट जो फिक्स खर्चा है 2,000 पर टन के आसपास है. हमने 7.5 लाख टन किया है. ये खर्चा मेरा कुछ तो रिड्यूस भी कर रहे हैं, कुछ हम इसको और ठीक करेंगे और वॉल्यूम बढ़ाएंगे तो मे बी कम डाउन टू 1,000 रुपीज पर टन. तो आज 1,000 से मेरा खर्चा कम हो जाता तो मेरे लिए बहुत बड़ा बूस्टर है. मेरी प्रॉब्लम क्या है देवदत्त की, आई एम सिटिंग विद द कैपेसिटी ऑफ 4.5 मिलियन टन और आई एम प्रोड्यूसिंग 3 मिलियन टन. तो मैं कुछ भी असेसमेंट नहीं कर पा रहा था. बट राइट नाउ फ्रॉम सितंबर ऑनवर्ड्स मेरा असेसमेंट होना शुरू हो गया कि कहाँ पर मेरे खर्चे ज़्यादा हैं, कहाँ पर मेरा मार्केट शेयर कम है, कहाँ पर मेरा मार्केट शेयर, अगर मैं 80% मार्केट पर ऑलरेडी बैठा हुआ तो आई कांट इंक्रीज माई मार्केट शेयर. तो I don't want to lose the premium there. जहाँ पर मेरा मार्केट से 40% है, 50% है, या पत्रे का मार्केट से ज़्यादा है, तो I can lose उस मार्केट में I can lose my margins and I can capture the market share. तो राइट नाउ हमको कुछ स्ट्रैटेजी अब नजर आने लग गई है, बट एक क्वार्टर हमको काम करने से जो मेरे को लगता है कि हमको और भी हमारी स्ट्रैटेजी बुलिश होती जाएगी.
Got it. So आप बेसिकली बोल रहे हैं आप लोग का फोकस इज ऑन एब्सोल्यूट एबिटा रादर देन एबिटा पर टन. सो हाउ शुड वी थिंक अबाउट एबिटा गोइंग फॉरवर्ड, जस्ट एब्सोल्यूट एबिटा गोइंग फॉरवर्ड? अगर आपका वॉल्यूम आप जो बोल रहे हैं उसके हिसाब से रैंप अप होता है, तो आपको क्या सेंस है एबिटा कहाँ जाना चाहिए बाय 25 बाय 26?
मैं तो हमेशा बुलिश आदमी होता हूँ, बट जो भी है मतलब मैं मान के चलता हूँ कि इस क्वार्टर में हम 4,000 से तो ऊपर रहना चाहिए हमको, 5,000 से नीचे रहना चाहिए, और मे भी अगले क्वार्टर में 5,000 को भी टच कर देना चाहिए हमको.
गॉट इट, ठीक है, थैंक यू.
राइट नाउ कैन से कि मेरे लैंग्वेज में 43-4400 रुपीज टन इस क्वार्टर में, 4700 4800 में क्वार्टर फिर हमारा मार्जिन भी इंक्रीज होता जाएगा जैसे जैसे वॉल्यूम बढ़ेगा.
समझिए, ठीक है, थैंक यू.
Thank you. Our next question is from line of Sneha Talreja from Nuvama. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir, and thanks a lot for the opportunity. So there's just two confusions here. One is you said that you have discontinued the discount which were given, which was around 500 rupees a ton, which has been done in October starting. Is that correct?
So Sneha, this was on the overall portfolio, right? But if you go in the market, you may still see that we have discounts on the products which are directly competing with sponge iron steel pipes. Okay, but overall portfolio, the discount which came out to be 500 because of destocking, because of sales push, that we have rolled over. But on our general products, the discounts continued in month of October.
And that is not the reason of your EBITDA per ton fall this particular quarter? Or how do we see EBITDA per ton impact because of that?
50-100 rupees a ton.
Sorry, how much?
50 to 100 rupees a ton, that's all.
Understood. Secondly, one of the impact what I wanted to understand is last quarter you had mentioned the gap between Patra and your primary steel prices were about 2 to 3 odd rupees, which this particular quarter you said is 5 to 6 odd rupees. Plus there was a 500 rupees discount which you gave it on the overall basis. Despite these gaps increasing, what is the confidence that you have on 10% Q-on-Q growth is what I wanted to understand.
Sneha, one correction. I said 5% gap. I didn't say 5,000 rupees per ton gap. I said 5,000 rupees. So 5,000 rupees on 5%. 5% on 52,000 rupees per ton selling price. Absolute comes out to be 2,500 rupees a ton. 3,000 rupees a ton.
Okay, my bad then. Understood. Next thing what I wanted to understand is how quickly can you actually ramp up your capacity once you achieve 5 million tons sort of a number in terms of capacity? Because earlier what I understand is you were trying to ramp up your Raipur capacity itself. Later you decided to get into various other markets. So I think that particular area would help in understanding.
हमारी जितनी भी कम्युनिटी बेस्ड कैपेसिटी थी या जो भी डायरेक्टली टू लीव विद द तत्काल मार्केट की, सब हमारी कैपेसिटी फुल्ली यूटिलाइज चल रही है इस टाइम. वी हैव सम कैपेसिटी लेफ्ट ऑन द बिगर सेक्शंस एंड बिगर डाया पाइप्स. और एक हमारी लाइन हैदराबाद में जस्ट इंस्टॉल हो रही है, तो और एक दुबई में. हमको 4.5 मिलियन टन पहुंचने के लिए बस इसी 3 जगह 500 टन पर मंथ की कैपेसिटी बैलेंस रह गई, हमारी यूटिलाइज हो गई. बाकी वी आर यूटिलाइज ऑल द कैपेसिटीज. और आई थिंक कि अब इस पर भी हम स्ट्रेटेजिकली काम कर रहे हैं. तो ये 4.5 मिलियन टन तो हमको हमारा रोड मैप बहुत क्लियर नजर आ रहा है. आफ्टर दैट 4.5 मिलियन टन वी हैव ए प्लांट इन सिलीगुड़ी फॉर 2 लाख टन. वो मार्केट अभी हमारी बहुत वीक है. 1 लाख टन मार्केट फॉर गोरखपुर एंड 2 लाख टन मार्केट फॉर ये बेंगलोर, जो साउथ लाइटर स्ट्रक्चरल ट्यूब मार्केट है. तो यहाँ पर 5 लाख टन से हम लगता है कि हम बहुत जल्दी क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर बहुत तेज सफर तय करेंगे.
Understood, sir. Thanks a lot for the opportunity and all the very best, team. And a happy Diwali to everyone.
Same to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Aditya Veligar from Axis Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Anubhav, just a few points which I've missed. So you said 53% capacity utilization on Raipur plant on expanded capacity. So what is that expanded capacity now? And residual capex guidance for 25 and for 26?
Right. So last quarter, the rated capacity was 1.1 million ton. Now it is 1.2 million ton. Okay, so there has been addition by 110,000 tons to be precise in the capacity. And if you calculate the volume, it was kind of unchanged on a QOQ basis.
Okay, and on capex guidance for 25 and 26?
So capex, we have around 3.0 to 3.5 billion rupees of residual capex, which we shall spend over the next 6 to 7 months, and we shall reach 5.0 million ton capacity.
Understood. And one question on this value-added product share, means it is 55%, and that percentage is almost flat year over year. So what is the function of that value-added product share in our EBITDA per ton increase? Means do we see any case where we can we have the flexibility to increase the value-added product share and reduce our general product share? Because in this quarter we have incurred losses on EBITDA per ton basis on general product. So in that scenario, is that market is developed, or is there a sufficient market for pushing volumes for value-added products?
Aditya, please understand that the EBITDA loss in general category is not because of our pricing, but because of rupees 2,000 per ton inventory loss which we booked for the whole company, right? So if I remove inventory loss, it was pretty much profitable product, right? And there is no strategy to lower the volume from general products because the opportunity which has come in front of us with the decline in the sponge iron steel pipes, we have almost 500,000 ton of new incremental monthly market, right, which we can target, and very, very aggressively. We have the capacities, right? We have the distribution network, right? It's one of the most fast-moving products. So here the inventory churns are even higher, right? In this segment, inventory churn touches almost 20 times in a year, right? So on EBITDA per ton basis, you may see it being dilutive, but on ROC basis, this is like super accretive, right? And we are not going to leave any stone unturned to grab the market from sponge steel pipes which got opened up over the last 3-4 months. Because it is not ROC dilutive, it is highly ROC accretive.
Understood, Anubhav. Thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Bhavin Pandey from Athena Investments. Please go ahead.
Hey, am I audible?
Yes, Bhavesh, please go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I just wanted to draw your attention to slide 23 on the opportunity in solar. If you could just quantify the size of the opportunity, and second, you could touch upon if products in this particular offering are fungible and could be used across segments.
So, see, I mean, the products are not fungible, right? The target, if you look at the opportunity, right, in the area of residential rooftop, right, there our lighter structurals will be used, right? Now for ground mounted, one is still, so there our alusing sheet and thicker color coated sheet will get used. Right, and for tracker, again we have specialized tubes which can only be used in solar trackers, right? So these capacities are not fungible. So we have introduced the products specifically for each area.
Okay. And Anubhav, what would be the mix of exports and domestic revenue?
So if you look at our Dubai sales, right, that is our international sales.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Bharat Shah from ASK Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
I just wanted to ask one question. Out of the other expenses which are booked per ton, so which was about 4,400 odd in the first quarter, a little over 4,000 in the second quarter, how much conceptually is likely to be fixed cost and how much is kind of variable linked to the output? In other words, as we ramp up the sales, what kind of operating leverage I can expect to see on a roughly 1 million ton, 1 lakh extra kind of ton per quarter ramp up that we are talking about, just to get a bit more clarity on that.
So, Bharat Bhai, see, in fixed cost, our primary is employee cost, right, which right now is 1,050 rupees a ton. Okay, I'm excluding the.
Is about 1,100 rupees a ton, 1,000 to 1,100. I'm talking about other expenses.
Bharat Bhai, your voice is cracking.
I'm saying the manpower cost is about 1,000 to 1,100 per ton in each of these two quarters. That I've seen. I'm saying the other expense, which goes up 4,400 rupees a ton in the first quarter and roughly 4,000 in the second quarter. So what kind of operating leverage one can hope to see? In other words, how much normatively is the fixed element of the cost? Broadly, I mean, it need not be very precise. And how much is likely to be the variable part?
So Bharat Bhai, like I was saying, see, I mean, in fixed cost, there are three main components, right? One is employee cost, salary. Second is the head office expenses, and third is the branding expenses. Now, in the variable cost, which are number one, power, number two, consumables, number three, steel wastage, and number four, the freight cost, right? And if you look at the operating leverage which we can get, right, from the employee cost, from the head office expenses and the seasonal expenses, almost 500 to 600 rupees per ton operating leverage we can get if we keep on producing 300,000 ton of steel pipes every month.
Okay. And on the variable part also, we have a program to save the cost in each of the areas. So roughly what kind of improvement over in the next 1 and 2 years we expect to see on the variable part of the cost?
Variable, the power cost has some potential to go down because we are investing in renewable energy, right? So that helps us reduce the cost. And secondly, on freight cost also, every day we keep on improving efficiencies from the plant dispatch to the end market, so that we can optimize the freight cost. And after opening or commencement of Siliguri and Gorakhpur plants, definitely the freight cost to eastern markets will come down.
Yeah. Bharat, one thing is very clear. Right now we are sitting with the expenses of close to 4.5 million ton. अब हमारा 4.5 मिलियन टन के लिए जो भी एक्सपेंसेस होना है हम उसके ऊपर बैठे हुए हैं और जैसे जैसे हमारा ये वॉल्यूम बढ़ता जाएगा लाइक जैसा पावर है, पावर को भी हम दो पार्ट से पकड़ते हैं. वन पार्ट इज व्हेन हम वी रन द मिल्स तो हमारा कॉस्ट आता है. एक पार्ट है कि मिल चलाए या नहीं चलाए हमको मिनिमम ये बिजली देना ही पड़ता है. तो लाइक किसी प्लांट में 4000 kVA का कनेक्शन दे रखा है बट वहाँ पर रन हो रहा है 3000 kVA बट ऑल द चार्जेस वी हैव टू पे फॉर 4000 kVA. तो इस तरह के इफ यू सी कि टोटल हमारा 2000 रुपीज जो फिक्स कॉस्ट आता है 2000 रुपीज पर टन के आसपास आता है. उसमें जिसका हमारा मेन पावर है फिक्स पावर जो हमको लगना ही लगना है. थोड़ा सा इंटरेस्ट कॉस्ट है, फिर ये ब्रांडिंग एक्सपेंडिचर है, एचओ एक्सपेंडिचर है, मार्केटिंग एक्सपेंडिचर है. तो इस पर हमारा बहुत अगर हम अपना वॉल्यूम अचीव करते तो हमारा बहुत मेजर रिडक्शन आएगा. नंबर 2 जो हमारा फ्रेट फैक्टर जो है इस समय हमारा ऑलमोस्ट क्लोज टू लास्ट क्वार्टर 1900 के आसपास आया है इंक्लूडिंग एक्सपोर्ट. अगर हम लोकल मार्केट को देख के करें तो हमारा ऑलमोस्ट 1600 रुपीज टन आया है. उसमें क्या होता है अभी हमको कोई भी प्लांट को फुल करने के लिए अगर किसी एक मार्केट में डिमांड ज़्यादा है तो हमको लाइक हसूर से पूना माल भेजना होता तो हम भेज देते थे कि चलो वहाँ का मार्केट को फुल करो. बट अगर अब हसूर का माल हसूर में बिक रहा है तो वी आर नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू सेंड द मटेरियल टू पूना मार्केट. तो ऐसा अब जैसे जैसे प्लांट हमारे फुल हो रहे हैं तो हमारे उस टाइप का अननेसेसरी फ्रेट फैक्टर भी कम होता जाएगा जब लोकल में उसका माल बिकता जाएगा. तो लाइक रायपुर का माल है अभी हमको रायपुर को फुल करने के लिए वी हैव टू सेंड टू पूना, वी हैव टू सेंड टू बेंगलोर ऑल्सो ये प्लांट को फुल करो. अब जैसे जैसे वहाँ लोकल रायपुर का जो मार्केट है हमारा ईस्टर्न इंडिया का और एमपी का और गुजरात का वो मार्केट में जैसे जैसे डिमांड रैंप अप हो रहा है हमारा तो हमारा फ्रेट कॉस्ट आज हम बेंगलोर माल बेचते तो हमारा फ्रेट है 4000 रुपीज टन. हम अगर अहमदाबाद माल बेचते तो हमारा फ्रेट है 2500 रुपीज टन फ्रॉम रायपुर. तो वो कॉस्ट हमारा कम हो जाता है. तो अब हम बल्कि इस प्रोसेस में आए हैं कि कॉस्टिंग के ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं. सब कुछ हमारा वॉल्यूम से लिंक है और हम अनफॉर्चुनेटली पिछले 1-2 साल से हम वॉल्यूम एंड पर फंसे पड़े थे. हम चाहते भी वॉल्यूम नहीं कर पा रहे थे. राइट नाउ जैसे जैसे वॉल्यूम करते जाएंगे तो हमको कुछ गलतियां नजर आएंगी तो उसको हम रिमूव करेंगे. तो कुछ अच्छाई होगी तो उसको और अच्छा करेंगे. अब हम उस प्रोसेस में आए हैं. तो आई थिंक Q3 एंड Q4 काफी कुछ कंपनी का फ्यूचर के बारे में कहेगा.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the management is able to address questions from all participants, please limit your questions to one per participant. Our next question is from the line of Shailesh Raja from B&K Securities. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity. So how is the current capex trend seen in the government infra projects like metro, railway stations, airports, then water infrastructure project like steel water tanks, which you were referring 2-3 quarters back. So today, what is our total volume from these sector and what is the total overall contribution is coming from government infra projects?
So Shailesh, around 20.5% of our sales come from the infrastructure projects, right? I mean last few months have been pretty slow, right? Because of elections and new government formation and delayed budgets and then monsoons, right? Now in the month of October we have seen the pickup, right? But we have been working on these projects for last 1.5 years in terms of the approvals and our tubular design, right? So we have started to see a good traction from October onwards, and this momentum should continue throughout FY25 and FY26.
Is it back to pre-election period?
Not yet, because now North India again will see construction slowdown because of the elevated pollution levels, right? So we believe that Jan, Feb, March, last quarter we shall see
we shall see the pre-election levels momentum.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Vikas Singh from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So just wanted to understand one thing, that the competition is also getting into the segments which previously were dominated by you only. Basically, you were the only player. At the same time, you are actually selling more of low-grade products. So in this context, and given a lot of SRC capacity coming, so competition would also get some benefits of the bulk buying. How do we expect that our blended EBITDA would still be growing to 5,000 to 6,000 level, given our value added would also come under pressure?
Good evening, Vikas. Because what competition are doing, we don't bother. Because we have our own branding, we have our own distribution network, we have our own expertise on the costing part. Number 3, market is also expanding. थोड़ा बहुत तो देखो competition किसी भी business में थोड़ा बहुत आता रहता है, but we don't think there is any serious competition in our segment. ठीक है, कोई API में आ रहा है, कोई DI में आ रहा है, कोई galvanized में आ रहा है, but हमको अपने पार्ट में, क्योंकि we are creator, हम अपना मार्केट खुद क्रिएट करते हैं, and we are doing lot of small things जिसको आप you can see in the volume of the market, we can't describe on the phone. थोड़ा बहुत हमारा कंपटीशन से अगर मार्केट से जाएगा तो नया भी इनोवेशन हमारा खत्म थोड़ी हो जाता है, हमारा इनोवेशन आगे बढ़ता रहता है. थोड़ा बहुत जितना राइट नाउ हम नवंबर में हमारा 1000 स्क्वायर का लाइन चालू हो जाएगा रायपुर में, वो 1 लाख टन का कैपेसिटी का, वो हमारा अपने आप में एक नया इनोवेशन आ जाएगा. अब हमने जो फीकल कलर का लाइन लगाया था वो धीरे धीरे रैंप अप हो गया, उसका मार्केट डेवलप हो गया, तो वो हमारा ये अपना ये वैल्यू एडिशन बढ़ाएगा. तो अगर हम 2 लाख 3 लाख टन साल का हम अपना वैल्यू एडिशन बढ़ाते हैं, 4 लाख टन बढ़ाते हैं, तो मेरी 50,000 टन 1 लाख टन 20,000 टन उस तक कंपटीशन में आएगा. तो वी डोंट बॉदर. लाइक अब हम ये प्री गैल्वेनाइज्ड पाइप में हम नया जैम पाइप लाने की तैयारी में है, जो हमारा मार्च तक लॉन्च हो जाएगा. तो बोले ये तो दुनिया का दस्तूर है, लोग नीचे से थोड़ा ऊपर आने की कोशिश करेंगे, हम और ऊपर जाने की कोशिश करेंगे. टाइम नॉट वरी.
Understood, sir. So just one small clarification. I know the inventory loss point has been said too much, but we had a similar situation in Q2 FY23 when the export duty led to almost 10,000 rupees price correction. Even then, we had managed the EBITDA per ton reduction of only 700 rupees, while this time was almost 2,400 rupees. So are we sitting up some extra inventory at HRC coils this time? Or I'm reading the situation differently?
So that time, I don't remember, but I think that time we compromised with the volume. इसमें वॉल्यूम क्या था हमारा?
सर वॉल्यूम आपका उस समय 602 KT था वर्सेस प्रीवियस क्वार्टर 422 KT, तो वॉल्यूम वाज आल्सो गुड एक्चुअली.
तो मेरे समय से ये हमारा मेरे को राइट नाउ से नहीं याद है कि मैं उस टाइम क्यों ऐसा हुआ होगा, या तो ये उस समय 15 से मार्केट हमारा अच्छा होगा, या हमारे पास कुछ ओडीएम ऑर्डर एक्सपोर्ट ऑर्डर कुछ अच्छा होगा. विदाउट सीइंग द फैक्ट्स आई डोंट वांट टू कमेंट एनीथिंग.
Understood, sir. I'll take it offline from Abhinav. Yeah. That's all from my side. Thank you and happy Diwali to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is a follow-up question from the line of Bharat Shah from ASK Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
सॉरी संजय जी, मेरा फोन ड्रॉप ऑफ हो गया.
भरत भाई एकदम आपका फोन बीच में निकल गया था.
हाँ, आप कह रहे थे कि करीब 2,000 रुपया पर टन जितना फिक्स कॉस्ट का, मतलब 4.5 मिलियन टन की कैपेसिटी पे हम कॉस्ट स्ट्रक्चर है, लेकिन ऑपरेट हम लोअर कर रहे हैं, और 2,000 रुपया पर टन मोटा फिक्स कॉस्ट का, जहाँ देयर इज एन इफेक्टिव स्कोप फॉर सेविंग. plus part of the variable cost like power, where there is some level of semi-variability of that. आप जो कह रहे थे तब मेरा कॉल ड्रॉप हो गया.
हाँ, यस यस सर. तो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि भरत भाई क्या है ना कि हमारा टोटल जो फिक्स कॉस्ट है, हम बिजनेस करें नहीं करें, हमारा ऑलमोस्ट 45 करोड़ रुपीज पर मंथ के आसपास फिक्स कॉस्ट है, जिसको हम रिड्यूस करके 40 करोड़ लाने पर लगे हुए हैं कि हम उसको किसी तरह 40 करोड़ के आसपास लिया है. और हम हमारा जिसका लास्ट ये 15 लाख टन के आसपास हमारा ये वॉल्यूम था, तो 45 into 12 divided by 45 into 6 करोगे ना, 6 हाँ, डिवाइड बाई 14.75, हाँ वही 2000 के आसपास आ गया. तो भाई अगर हम इसको 40 पर ले आते हैं, इधर हम वॉल्यूम अपना बढ़ा के हम 1 मिलियन टन का जो हमारा क्वार्टर का टारगेट बना रहे हैं कि हम 1 मिलियन टन पर पहुंचते हैं 1-2 क्वार्टर के अंदर में, तो हमारा ये जो कॉस्ट है ये 3 लाख टन 1200 रुपीज टन के आसपास आ जाएगा ये कॉस्ट, जो हमारे मार्जिन को इंप्रूव करने में हमको सपोर्ट करेगा.
मतलब करीब 700-800 रुपया पर टन बेसिस पे सेविंग्स हो जाएगी.
यस, क्योंकि हम अभी हायर एक्सपेंसेस में बैठे हुए, वॉल्यूम हम लेस कर रहे हैं भरत भाई.
समझ गया. और वेरिएबल कॉस्ट में भी हमारी सेविंग्स का प्रोग्राम है ड्यू टू
भरत भाई. वेरिएबल कॉस्ट में क्या होता है, 2 जगह हमारी सेविंग ज़्यादा होती है. एक तो फ्रेट फैक्टर पे, फ्रेट फैक्टर लाइक हमने हसूर प्लांट चल रहा है, हसूर प्लांट 145,000 टन पर मंथ टनेज. अब वहाँ पर लोकल मार्केट में हमारा 35,000 या 38,000 टन मटेरियल बिक रहा है, तो अब पूरा में डिमांड हमारे पास ज़्यादा है, तो या अहमदाबाद में डिमांड ज़्यादा है या हैदराबाद में डिमांड ज़्यादा है, तो वी शिप द मटेरियल फ्रॉम हसूर टू ये हैदराबाद और पूना और ये अहमदाबाद, वाट एवर जहाँ पर हमारे पास डिमांड ज़्यादा है. अहमदाबाद तो नहीं भेजते है ना, हैदराबाद एंड पूना माल शिफ्ट कर देते हैं. अब अगर हमारा हसूर में ही माल बिक जाता है लोकल मार्केट में, तो लोकल मार्केट में मेरा एवरेज फ्रेट आता है 600 से 700 टन के आसपास आता है, और जब मैं बाहर जाके माल बेचता हूँ तो मेरा कॉस्ट आता है 1600-1700 रुपये टन के आसपास. तो 1000 रुपीज टन एक्स्ट्रा मटेरियल पर मेरा सीधा सेव हो जाता है. तो जैसे जैसे मार्केट एक्सपेंड कर रही है तो मेरा माल लोकल बिकने लग गया है, तो मेरा फ्रेट कॉस्ट नीचे जाना चाहिए. नंबर जिसका पावर में ये फर्क पड़ेगा, लाइक हम ट्यूबिंग तो पाइप बना रहे हैं, अब एक ट्यूबिंग की कैपेसिटी 200 टन पर डे बनाने की है, तो उसका एक ट्यूब में छोड़ के बाकी सारी कैपेसिटी रन कर रही होती है, चाहे करेंस है, चाहे वाटर मोटर पंप्स है, सब कुछ उसमें ज़्यादा इफेक्ट नहीं आएगा. हमारे से 40 यूनिट पर टन के आसपास अभी खर्चा आता है ट्यूब मिल पे. अगर हमारी ट्यूब मिल फुल कैपेसिटी पे चलेगी तो यूनिट पर टन कॉस्ट आ जाएगी हमारी 34 यूनिट पर टन. तो 5-6 यूनिट भी हमारे लिए 8 रुपये यूनिट कॉस्ट है, 7 रुपये है, तो 40-50 रुपये टन हो जाता है. उसी तरह जब ये मिल पर प्रेशर होगा तो हमारी यील्ड कॉस्ट, यील्ड फैक्टर भी थोड़ा सा स्लाइटली नीचे आ जाएगा. नॉट कोई इन सब चीज़ों में छोटा इंप्रूवमेंट आएगा, 50 रुपये टन का, 100 रुपये टन का, 30 रुपये टन का, बाकी खर्चों में भी. तो मैंने डीजल तो फिक्स कॉस्ट नहीं आता है, बट इधर भी हमारा एक 200-300 रुपये टन से कॉस्ट कम हो जाएगा. ओवरऑल स्टोर कॉस्ट कम हो जाएगा. जो मिल्स कम रुक रही है तो उससे ये ब्रेकडाउन कम हो जाते हैं. जब अगर प्लांट में प्रेशर नहीं है माल रखने का, माल में ये बनाने का, तो क्या होता है प्लांट में इधर उधर स्टोरेज करना पड़ता है, उसकी हैंडलिंग हमारी बहुत बढ़ जाती है, हैंडलिंग करने से हमारी वेस्टेज बढ़ जाती है. बहुत सारे फैक्टर्स होते हैं भरत भाई. तो अल्टीमेट वजह तो फुल कैपेसिटी पर चलने का ही आता है, और हम फुल कैपेसिटी लगा चुके हैं अनफॉर्चुनेटली. तो अब हमको उसको किसी भी तरह से हमको पूरा करना है, हम उस पर लगे हुए हैं.
So, Sanjay ji, will it be fair to say we finally are at a point where all that we needed or all that we have desired in market conditions is what we have got today? In other words, on the value-added component, realization steadily should improve. On the raw material side, we now have stable conditions and favorable one, where we can at a lower end expand the volumes. On the fixed asset, fixed cost side, we'll have operating leverage benefit to save and to gain. And on the variable, our efficiency and cost saving programs will result in some reduction. And all of that combined with opportunity in the global arena where overall I would say that there should not be any reason now going ahead for APL Apollo not to be right at the top and shining. Otherwise, it will require a lot of introspection within as to why with all the favorable factors, I would say there is now no scope for any analytics. It is only the numbers.
बस भाई अगर आपके पूरे कॉल पे तो मैंने अपने शुरू में ही कॉल पर अपने खुल के कहा है कि एवरीथिंग इज इन आवर फेवर. अगर हम इस टाइम तक कोई भी हम एक्सक्यूज हमारे पास नहीं है, अगर हम नहीं कर पाते तो दिस इज एक वरी पॉइंट फॉर अस एंड वी हैव टू रीथिंक अबाउट द होल द सिस्टम एंड द होल द स्ट्रक्चर कि क्यों हम नहीं कर पाए. हमारे पास कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं है आज की डेट में, टू बी फ्रैंक. मतलब मैं वो सबसे मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा, बोलूंगा नहीं हो पा रहा मेरे से, बट मैं एक्सक्यूज नहीं लूंगा, गलत एक्सक्यूज मैं नहीं लूंगा. तो टुडे राइट नाउ आई कैन से बोल्डली एंड लाउडली कि आई हैव नो एक्सक्यूज टू डिलीवर द नंबर डिलीवर करने के अलावा मेरे पास कोई एक्सक्यूज नहीं है इस टाइम. मेरा पूरा सिस्टम भी ये बात जानता है एंड वी आर वर्किंग फुल हार्ड. आप कहीं से भी चेक कर लो, ओवरनाइट काम कर रहे हैं इस टाइम इस चीज को प्रूव करने के लिए. अगर नहीं होता है, क्यों नहीं हुआ, कैसे नहीं हुआ है, वी कम विद द रीजन. कि हम फेलियर है या हमारे स्ट्रक्चर में कोई बहुत बड़े बदलाव की जरूरत है. बट टुडे आई कैन से बोल्डली एंड लाउडली, अगेन मैं बोल रहा हूँ, हमारे पास कोई रीजन नहीं है परफॉर्म करने के अलावा कि हमको क्यों क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर हमको परफॉर्मेंस अपना गुड नहीं वेरी गुड करना ही पड़ेगा.
No, I do know that and I do understand. Sanjay ji, Shubh Deepavali to you and the entire APL Apollo team, including the three other members on the call. Shubh Deepavali wishes to all of you.
Thank you, Bharat, and same to you and all the listeners. Happy Diwali.
Thank you. Our next question is from the line of Omkar Gugardare from Sri Investments. Please go ahead.
You mentioned that because of the price differential in the spawn steel market, you will be able to garner the additional market. So what exact steps are you taking in order to garner that market which has been vacated?
Which market are you talking about? Which market are you talking about?
The spawn steel market. Just now you mentioned. So you said that you will be capturing volumes from that market, right? Because of the price differential.
Correct.
So what exact steps are you taking in order to garner that market share?
Right. I mean, it has become a pull market, right? If we have the product, right, and if we are able to service our distributors well, the sales will go up automatically, right? Because the end user, whether the fabricator or contractor or a house owner, if he's getting HR coil quality steel pipe at the same price or maybe at a price gap of 5%, so he's going to ask for APL Apollo steel pipe, right? And my product has just to be available at my distributor counter so that he can service his retailers, his fabricators efficiently, and the sales will go up on their own.
Okay, just a small question is that how has been the month of October so far, as we are already at the end of October?
We are right on target.
So whatever you mentioned right now, that you will be gaining momentum in each of the segments, and I mean the revenue, the volume, and EBITDA, everything. Do you think you are on target?
I don't know about the EBITDA right now. Right now I know about the volume. अभी तो मंथ भी नहीं खत्म हुआ, EBITDA तो नहीं मेरे को मालूम पड़ सकता अभी, बट वॉल्यूम पर राइट ऑन टारगेट. अगर मेरे को कोई भी डाउट नजर आ रहा होता तो मैं नहीं बोलता.
Okay, so you are right on the track for the whatever you have guided so far.
Yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for the day. I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thanks, Yes Bank, for hosting us, and thanks to all the participants. And I wish everyone happy Diwali on behalf of APL Apollo. Thank you so much.
On behalf of Yes Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.